So Dan, we all know that the House passed the ACA tax credit extensions last week, and now it's kind of in the Senate's hands to do something next, right?
That's right. The Senate, of course, is led by Senator Thune from South Dakota, who's
Senator Thune, yes.
Right, who's the majority leader, and he said that there's no way that he would take up a bill that would be a clean 3-year extension.
He called it dead on arrival or something?
Yeah, he did. So anyway, Senator Susan Collins from Maine and Bertie Morano from Ohio had been working on a compromise, a bipartisan compromise, and so they're trying to come up with something different. So it would be probably 2 years instead of 3 years. They also want to have some income requirements so that people who are at 700% of poverty would be the only ones eligible. So those are the strings attached so far, but there may be more.
Can we live with those? In other words, we would have preferred a 3-year clean extension of ACA tax credits so folks' premiums would not double, triple, or worse. And now it sounds like this bipartisan gang in the Senate wants to do a 2-year with some restrictions. Are we okay with that?
With the restrictions I just mentioned, yeah, I think it would be fine. I don't really think it'd be hurtful. Other amendments that may be offered to the package that would be hurtful is something called association health plans. And they allow certain employers to skirt the requirements of the Affordable Care Act.
We don't want that.
No, we don't want that. That could really end up in people's rates going up. It causes something called adverse selection, where people who are sicker end up in these risk pools and their health care costs go up as a result. It circumvents why we have health insurance in the first place. 2 other provisions, too, that are harmful. One is health savings accounts that are no substitute for this enhanced premium tax credits. $1,500 doesn't go very far in today's healthcare market.
But the Republicans love those health savings accounts.
Yeah, they're obsessed with them. And they have been for almost decades, I would say. And then lastly, the thing that's probably the biggest poison pill is there's great interest in requiring the Hyde Amendment, which would ban that the ACA
abortion
plans
coverage.
could have abortion coverage, right?
That keeps rearing its head.
Right.
So, Dan, if we don't extend the subsidies, if the Senate can't come to a deal, what's going to happen to these Affordable Care Act enrollees? What's going to happen to their premiums?
Right. Well, we're already seeing it. I mean, there are in some cases that premiums are going up by more than 50%, and sometimes even higher. It's doubling their out-of-pocket expenses. And already we're seeing in states all over the country that there's a real decline in people who are able to re-enroll in their ACA plans, and also decline in new enrollees in their Affordable Care Act plans. And then the other part of it that people don't realize, that while it's bad enough that probably about 4.8 million people will lose their health insurance because of loss of these premium.
Did you say 4.8?
4.8 million.
Million people will lose health insurance simply because we can't extend these subsidies.
That's right. So that's bad enough. But the other thing is that 286,000 individuals are likely, healthcare individuals, people who work in the healthcare industry, are likely to lose their jobs because if there's 4.8 million fewer people in the healthcare system.
So they say, the Republicans say they're pro-business, but here we have...
Right. It's basically a job killer.
A job killer.
Yeah,
which is not the kind of thing they run on. And speaking of which, if the Republicans do not coalesce around some sort of compromise in the Senate and get this done, will they own this, and might they pay a political price in November?
And I think they already are. I think the polling shows very clearly that the Democrats, their message is right on target, and that Republicans are really, this is hurting people really badly, and they're squarely putting the blame on the Republicans and their inability to come to a compromise or to address this issue, because their solutions certainly won't get there, obviously the Affordable Care Act could be improved. We certainly would be, be supportive of that.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we need to make sure that people are able to retain their health insurance.
Well, one interesting note before we go is when the House voted last week, 17 Republicans crossed the line, defied Speaker Johnson, and voted in favor of the Affordable Care Act for the first time.
That's right.
Right, in history.
Right. Yeah. Well, in favor of extending these enhanced premium tax credits.
But it's the first affirmative vote
That's right.
a Republican is cast.
Which, of course, you're right, because it's ironic that many Republicans, especially the ones that have been around for a long time, they've been asked to vote 60 times to kill the entire bill. Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we will see what happens. We'll keep on top of it. Dan's department follows this very closely. Thanks for being with us.
Okay, thanks, Walter.
Okay.